Hi guys, over a little bit of discussion we were having about jump freighters, I thought it might be prudent to make a little video about how to safely get valuable cargo into HiSec. This is how I do it. There's other ways of doing it, but I've got a fair amount of experience, so I'd like to think I know a thing or two. So you can see I've got a RIA here. It's got a reasonably valuable cargo coming in at igniting, not using any bait citadels, making a good point of aligning rather than warping directly to the gate. I'm also keeping a note of any sinos that might go up, you know, suddenly a Nix appears. Okay, so pretty happy that that's now aligned. So in a moment I'll initiate warp to the high security gate. Now the other two clients that I've got open are, I'll have a Sino Vault, which is something that you should always have ready to go if something goes wrong. So I've got my exit Sino there on my bottom left. I've also got another alt sitting in Ionista, which is where the jump freighter is about to land in. He's currently flying a Imicus, I believe. It doesn't really matter what hull you use, as long as it's got a decent amount of mid slots. It's a frigate. Chuck some hyperspatials on it, chuck a bunch of webs in, and I like to chuck signal lamps in the lows just so you get an increased lock time. The advantage of that increased lock time is that if someone is going to try and ninja point you, which can happen, then hopefully you'll get the edge. If someone were to ninja point you, it's important just to sort of remain calm, because eventually Concorde's going to come in and there's usually a gap in time where they get popped before the gank fleet lands. So if you get ninja pointed, you immediately light your Sino and you jump out to the exit Sino as soon as that point drops. If it doesn't drop, well, that's all she wrote, but there's only so much you can do. Well, anyway, you can see that my my jump freighter is about to land on the Ionista gate. So I've only got 3 jumps to Jita, but you want to minimize the amount of time you spend in HiSec, because for a jump freighter pilot it's absolutely the most dangerous part of the journey. I'm carrying quite a lot of cargo here. It's a 20 billion package, so you know, if a ganker saw me, they would definitely go for me. So as soon as I take that gate, I've got my alt, who is currently off grid of the Ionista gate. I should make a point of the igniting gate, and I do a fleet warp and immediately start a duel with that freighter pilot. So I just use my fleet window, warp directly to my freighter. I know a lot of people use things with bonus webs and stuff. I don't really see the point, because you can just warp directly on top of it. It's still cloaked. Now I've got a freighters only overview, so I'm starting my warp, immediately lock, and webs on, and it's gone. So obviously you'll have another couple of opportunities to see how I did that, because we've got another couple of jumps to go. So you warp the webbing alt straight to the next system. Obviously you're going to have to wait 60 seconds before it can actually get into the next system. However, freighters are slow, so you've got time to just chill. If it is a short warp, what you do is you just, I tend to just manually pilot the freighter into the gate, so if anyone does try and gank you, you're not going to get bumped off the gate easily. So we're just waiting now for the freighter to arrive, and we're waiting for the aggression to drop on the freighter, on the webbing alt, rather. Okay, just a couple seconds left on the aggression timer. As you can see, I've got a freighters only overview. I should actually be more specific. It only shows friendly freighters as well. So it's basically just so I'm absolutely confident it's just going to be me on that overview. So I'm warping to, it doesn't matter what it is, just something slightly off grid. Remember, you've got 60 seconds of gate cloak, so you don't have to be, you know, rushing about too much. But warp off to, so I've just warped off to a friendly Ritaru, say friendly, a Freeport Ritaru, and I'm just warping back down to the gate just to get myself right on top of the freighter. Again, this is where a lot of people might use a bonus Weber and they would just hope that the freighter decloaks near it. it's not reliable enough for me. I like to land directly on the freighter. There it is, locked, webbed, and obviously I'm using the function keys on the keyboard to actually trigger the webs. But the warp's instantaneous, pretty much. One other thing you might notice is in the top left there, I've also got a Chrome window open. Zkill's actually got there used to be another website I used to use, but it's now defunct, unfortunately. But Zkill's now got a ganked feature, which shows you any obvious ganks, so kills associated with Concord. And I like to just keep an eye on that. So obviously code. But yeah, so if there's something really close, then just wait. You know, they're expensive ships. Don't risk it. But you know, there looks like there was a freighter that got ganked like about 20 minutes before in Savala, but I know that's reasonably far away, so I'm not too concerned. Right, so I'm landing in Jita now. Again, switching to my other tab just to find something to warp off to. I think I choose a mobile depot this time. Yeah. Yep, some mobile depots, so they're pretty close. I'll just use one of those. I mean, actually, on reflection, a sensible thing to do would actually be just set up some pings above the gates as well. I've just never actually got around to it because I tend to just ping off to something. Okay, warp yourself back down. There's been a lot of ganking lately where they just point you right in Jita. Coda getting pretty cocky. Jita 44, dock and bookmark. As soon as I appear, lock, web, gone. So you would have had to be pretty hot on your stuff in order to gank that, and also there's absolutely zero opportunity for it to be scanned. The only place it could have been scanned is potentially when it was lining off the undock in igniting, but there was nothing else on the grid at that point. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I just thought it might be a useful thing. We're searching for jump freighter pilots in the Coalition Jump Freight Service, and I'd be very grateful for additional help because contracts continue to pile up. There's money to be made. But that's all. Thank you very much for tuning in, chaps. See you in space.